ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Listen, really glad to have you guys here on this Monday evening. It's Monday the 17th, February 2020. And you know what? This show is reaching everywhere YouTube reaches. It's wonderful to have such a great audience out there. First thing we're going to talk about tonight is something you may or may not have heard of before. But I'm quite familiar with it. I use it to relax. It's my biggest tool I have to relax, especially in these trying times we have right now. To be honest, some people relax. They will have a glass of wine or whatever. Me, I use this to relax. This is my tool to relax. I'm going to reveal it to you guys, and I find it absolutely wonderful. Tool to relax. Now I'm going to tell you guys what. In order to use this tool, you need to have a quality set of earphones, headphones. Not no real little cheap ones like you buy at the dollar store, but you need something like, I recommend Sony. Sony makes good headphones. You need a good quality stereo type headphones in order to. And this is what this is called. My relaxation tool is called Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And what it's simplified tool, what's called simplified, is ASMR. And what it basically is, it's a tingling sensation that typically begins in the scalp and moves down the back or neck to the upper spine, a pleasant form of, I can't pronounce it. It's a subjective experience of low-grade euphoria, characterized by a combination of positive feelings and distinct static-like tingling sensation on the skin. It's most commonly triggered by specific auditory or visual stimulus, and less commonly by intentional attention or control. So, basically what it is there's these people that are called ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response Artists. And they learn through technique that they've devised over a number of years how to trigger this response. But you gotta have stereo headphones. You basically watch the person, and just like some people are able to hypnotize you, these people are able to trigger this autonomous sensory meridian response. Now, it doesn't work in all people. It only works on certain people. It works probably on about 70% of the people out there. And what it does is it gives you a very good sense of well-being. It also relaxes you, and it puts you in a good state of mind. And quite often what will happen is after about a half an hour or 45 minutes, you'll fall asleep. Oftentimes, I can tell a good autonomous sensory meridian response artist or ASMR artist because they will put me to sleep after about a half an hour listening to them. You know? One of the things I hate, though, and I often pick long ASMR videos with ASMR artists that have long videos, and the reason why is oftentimes if you pick a short ASMR video and you're watching it, you'll fall asleep and you got the headphones on listening to the ASMR, and you're in such a delightful, peaceful, wonderful place, where flowers bloom and roses grow. This is where ASMR will take you. It'll take you in such a relaxed place where you're into another world, And all of a sudden, the ASMR will end if you have a short ASMR film. Most of them are found on YouTube. I mean, you can put a search in and find them easy enough on YouTube. So the ASMR will end, and YouTube will trigger a new video for you automatically. They oftentimes do that, right? And one of those commercials will come on. And it'll wake you up from that peaceful slumber into a start. And you're like, oh my, it's like when like a car commercial or something will come on and it'll just, wow, bang, bang, crash. They always play the commercials louder than the regular entertainment. So that's why I generally pick one that's at least 45 minutes long or at least 30 minutes long, because that way I have time where it's not going to trigger some sort of a new commercial coming on and waking me up, from my peaceful slumber that ASMR triggers. Anyway, I invite you guys to check that out because you might really like it if you've never heard of it before, something to try. Now, moving on to the coronavirus thing right now. More than 300 Americans were evacuated and flown back to California and Texas to board on two government-chartered flights. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but one of these planes was a cargo plane, so it's kind of cold. I I don't think they have the insulation in the cargo planes that they have in the passenger planes. And when you're up at 30,000 feet, quite often the temperature's like 10 degrees below zero up there. And if the plane's not insulated, well, have you ever felt the airplane window, like when you're up at 30,000 feet? The window's really cold, and you can feel the walls are a little bit cold, and they got the heater running. I don't think those cargo planes are even heated, and I don't think they got any insulation in the back. And so, when it gets -10 outside there, it would get pretty cold in the back of a cargo plane. But anyway, listen, I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, if it was me and I was trying to get out of there, off of that cruise from hell, I wouldn't care. Even if they didn't have any blankets or anything else, I'd bundle myself up in an old cardboard box or something. I just want to get back to America. And when I got back to America, I'd bend down to the ground and kiss the grass. Honest to goodness. I mean, I'm telling you guys, they must be some thankful to get out of there. Honest to goodness. I'm telling you, this was a horror for these poor Americans who were stuck on board that cruise to hell. Horrible, horrible. I'm glad they're home. I'm glad they're safe, but now we got to be very careful that we don't let this disease escape from these people who've come back, and doesn't get into the general population, because this is a nightmare, a total nightmare. Now, moving on, what we have a situation with the United Kingdom. They're trying to get a deal through with the European Union. But it doesn't really matter. They're still going to face higher prices. They're still going to face a lot of tariffs and extensive checks on everything. And so prices are really going to go up. Consumers in the United Kingdom are going to face higher prices, reduced availability of goods, and see, a lot of goods, come in through the European Union, and this is like going to cut off this. Even if they get a deal, still there's going to be problems. So we're moving into a situation here in the United Kingdom and in Great Britain where there's going to be a lot of problems now, and between them and the United Kingdom and the EU, And next month, they will see the formal launch of negotiations on a new relationship after the United Kingdom left the EU at the end of January. So that's what's going to happen. Now, moving on, we have Michael Bloomberg. He is coming in with an unconventional presidential campaign, And this is making big news about his unconventional presidential campaign. In fact, it's second only to the outbreak of this new disease, So it's big news. So the former New York mayor and billionaire has no intention of running a typical presidential campaign. He is the ninth richest person in the country. So here we go. Donald Trump was a very rich man too, and now he's a president. So now, as far as ASMR is concerned, I found a real funny ASMR, what you call an artist, and they are artists. If you get into watching these ASMR people on YouTube, you're going to find that these guys are artists. So there's one I like. I think it's really kind of funny. It tickles my funny bone. There's a guy on here that does ASMR, and he looks exactly like Kim Jong-un from North Korea. I mean, I can't tell the difference between him, but he's actually pretty good at ASMR. So look him up on there. I'm not exactly sure what you'd put in to find him because but you just put in Kim Jong-un ASMR or whatever, you should find him. Anyway, that's about all I got for tonight, guys. We're still watching this thing with China. What's going to happen, the whole situation. Whether it's going to fizzle out, it could fizzle out, or it could grow in the opposite direction. We are kind of at a turning point right now, The Chinese people have done just about all they could do in my consideration. They've done an awful lot. And we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But, it'll be an absolute tragedy. And this is why they need to step up. They need to put in new protocols really fast to try to stop this thing from gaining a toehold in other countries outside of China. Thank you guys for listening. Give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.